Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
This is Autoline Daily for August 3rd, 2010. I'm Peter De Lorenzo, the Autoextremist, filling in for McElroy, who will be back later in the week. Here are today's top stories. In another sign that the global economy may be improving, Bloomberg reports that BMW is filled with joy after posting its biggest profit in 2.5 years. The company's second quarter net income increased to $1.1 billion, thanks in part to the popularity of its redesigned 5 Series. Two more reasons for the brand's strong showing: record sales in China and a rebound in the U.S. market. A few months back, we reported that GM was trumping Ford with its redesigned heavy-duty pickups. The company's upgraded Duramax diesel puts out 397 horsepower and 765 pound-feet of torque, topping Ford's 2011 Super Duty. But now, the Blue Oval is fighting back. According to the Detroit Free Press, the company is boosting the output of its Power Stroke diesel by another 10 horsepower and 65 pound-feet of torque, bringing the totals to 400 and 800 respectively. That's enough to make the truck #1 in payload, towing, and power. For now, at least. Jaguar is thinking about new product as the economy starts to get rosier. According to the Detroit Free Press, the Indian-owned luxury brand plans to unveil 2 new models, including a station wagon and a roadster, the spiritual successor to the E-Type, perhaps? Also, in the company's annual report, Chairman Ratan Tata said they're considering an entry-level model, but he didn't share any more details. Last week, GM announced that the Chevy Volt will start at $41,000, but Edmunds Auto Observer reports you could be paying a lot more than that for one. After contacting an unnamed California dealer about the car, Edmunds got a pretty surprising response. The dealer claimed that they plan to charge $20,000 more than the MSRP for the Volt due to the limited number of vehicles available at launch. Edmunds notes that this exchange may have come before GM announced it will double production of the Volt. Earlier this year, GM said they didn't expect any dealers to overcharge for the vehicle and that it would do its best to discourage dealers from doing this. Obviously, this is not what GM needs when the Volt finally hits the market. Saab says it's ready to test electric vehicles starting next year. According to Edmunds.com Inside Line, the company will test pure electric vehicles based on the 9.3 at different locations around the globe in the first quarter of next year. Saab wouldn't say when they plan to release the EV to market. In other Saab news, the company will launch a refreshed 9.3 at the end of the year. Saab United reports that the front fascia is inspired by the new 9.5. There will be slight changes to the interior and that new gas engines will be available. Last week, we reported that Fiat's Chinese partner, Guangzhou Auto, was considering building Ferraris in China. But according to Gasgoo, Fiat is now denying these rumors, thank goodness. It says that Ferraris won't be made in China or anywhere else outside of Maranello. Finally, one list that GM continues to top, for the 10th year in a row in fact, is America's most stolen car. According to the Highway Loss Data Institute, the Cadillac Escalade continues as the #1 steal for the country's most discriminating thieves. In fact, Detroit metal dominates the list, with Ford's F-250 pickup second and the Dodge Charger, Hemi-equipped of course, finishing 4th. Meanwhile, if you want to own one of the least stolen cars in the country, the Institute says you're looking for something like the Toyota Prius. Ugh. I'll take my chances on the mean streets, thank you. Coming up after the break, I'll have some thoughts on how the new Ford Explorer was saved from the scrap heap.
Introducing Bridgestone's 3rd generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
Ford took the wraps off its all-new 2011 Explorer last week, and it's easy to see why they're excited about it. The new Explorer is much better in every way, a technically sophisticated and dramatically more efficient vehicle with light years better driving dynamics thrown in for good measure. But saying all of that, it's a vehicle that almost didn't see the light of day. The go or no-go decision on the Explorer was still being bandied about internally at Ford more than 3 years ago. In those dark days, when the Detroit 3 were heading toward oblivion, it was not unexpected that some within Ford would be vehemently against the idea of doing a new Explorer. After all, the letters SUV had become the three letters of doom and the bane of Detroit's existence as consumers began to abandon the segment in droves. And the political rhetoric generated by the virulent anti-car, anti-Detroit intelligentsia was reaching a crescendo. Fortunately for Ford, cooler heads prevailed. The ones that realized that the scurrilous campaign against Detroit and everything it stood for was misguided, inaccurate, and most important, not reflective of the rest of the country. Much to the Detroit haters' chagrin, real people needed and still need all kinds of different vehicles for a wildly diverse set of needs. So when you look at the new Explorer, look beyond the inherent goodness of an exceptional product and take a moment to realize what the vehicle means to Ford and the rest of the country. The new Explorer represents a rejuvenated car company bristling with talent and expertise, one with an unwavering conviction in its mission and totally focused on delivering great product, which is, after all, the very lifeblood of this business. And for the rest of the country, it means that as long as there are car companies out there willing to be responsive to the consumer and to the customer's needs and wants, instead of giving in to the hysterical bleating from the political factions and their heavily warped agendas that would have us sentenced to becoming rickshaw nation overnight, then there will be vehicles out there that will fit your needs, even if they have the three letters of doom attached to them. And that's the high-octane truth. Again, I'm Peter De Lorenzo. Check out this column and many, many more on my website, Autoextremist.com. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.